Hello, beloved ones. 𝐲𝐞𝐯 here, showing up to have a bit of a conversation with you. As usual, 𝐲𝐞𝐯 is my name, and if at all this is the first time coming across me and you wonder, who is she? 𝐲𝐞𝐯 is a freedom illuminator, helping people to finally break free from generational toxic imprints, patterns, hexes, and curses, so that they can tap into their unwavering self-love and embody their confidence, connect to their higher self, and create the magic that they desire in their life, create soul-aligned relationships and abundance, and embody their sovereign freedom, embody their sovereign sexuality. In short words, stop using your sexual energy to feed the dark energies. That's all I can say. So back into the topic, I want to share this into my other groups. So back into the topics of dark energy, because honestly, this is like a serious thing, and you know what is going on in your life, you know what is going on in your business, even though your conscious mind, your logic may be telling you otherwise, dismissing what is. But at the end of the day, you know when you know from your being, you feel it in your body, you know that this is it. This deal is gonna go through, whether it's a business deal or this is my relationship. I found the love of my life. But then all of a sudden it's kind of like, whew, what happened? This person is kind of, something turned them off, and they can't also tell what is going on, or that business just out of the blue flopped, and you wonder what is going on. You lay up at night wondering, something is not right. I don't get it. And what I always say is, when you look into the patterns of your family, what is going on? Probably you are busy trying to make your business work, and that's what your parents, your father or mother tried, and it didn't work. And you saw that I'm going to make this, I'm going to do this. But still, here you are, you're pushing through, but nothing is happening. Why is that? And I gave examples of, at times when it comes to a life-changing opportunity, you get to do it. Somehow you don't. Or maybe it's a tender, you don't even get to submit it. Or it's you showing up and speaking, or whatever that you're doing, and you just feel tired. It's kind of like your life force is draining out of you. What is going on? What I find is that it's quite interesting. One of the extreme, actually, I've got kind of like two extreme cases. Like I said, I'm a healer, a human MRI psychic surgeon, and I step into people's auric fields to see what is going on. That's how my ancestors have done the healing for past ancient times, and that's how I do my healing. And at times, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be dangerous. But at the same time, because it's something that is in me, it's in my DNA, it's quite exciting, But there are two extreme situations where the other one has studies, it's like university studies and all that. Things just all of a sudden turned around, and she didn't finish, and she started doing her business, and things were not working well in her business. And when I connected with her, there was just this dark energy that was connected to her left side, kind of like, especially the receiving part. It was interfering with her gifts, it was interfering with her receiving, and this was like a very dark energy. And another thing, this was like a woman, so it's not surprising, it's a woman, so it was also blocking her connection to her gifts, to her power, right? And another thing, it was it was a man, and with him, it was like really one of the darkest energy, in the sense of just the smell. And you can imagine, I'm not connected to her. We are communicating visually, but he was smelling. His auric field was smelling. So when you meet people who are not attuned, it's kind of like you are smelling to other people. And it blew my mind, because I know there was this saying when I grew up, that at times it's kind of like you are smelling for people. And I thought it was just the saying. But when I experienced it, that there are people who are walking around with their aura literally smelling in this, and for people who are those you call normal people, it's not like you are smelling to them, but on the other hand, they don't want anything to do with you. Anything that you get to do, no one wants to be associated with it. When it comes to relationship, people are not interested. When it comes to business, people are not interested. And you make it about yourself. Of course, it's about you, but it's not about you. You know, it's about you in the sense of all these things are working on you, but on the other hand, it's something that did not start with you. This is why when I say what is happening, some things may have happened, those dark energies. Some of these things, when you're talking about curses, hexes, dark energies, it's something that may have happened for many generations. It's something that has been existing in your ancestral lineage for a long time. People have been creating from this. Ooh, it's quite interesting because as I'm speaking about this, I'm just taken to the womb, you know, especially as women, where at times there is something, I mean, I've come across as well, there is something that is attached to your womb. I mean, you call it spiritual wife, at times it's like that spiritual husband and all that. And there is more damage that can be done, but I don't want to dive more into that, because even when you're talking about something attached to your womb, at the end of the day, it's your creation energy. Like I'm talking about this man who was trying lots of businesses, and at the end, this dark energy, it manifested as pain in his body. When I connected with him, there was that smell, like literally smelling. And then another thing, it was like a deep pain just by the hip, kind of like something's attached to his hip bone. And when I spoke to him, he said, I've been to doctors and they can't find anything, but this pain is sucking life out of me. I can't do anything, because even me as a healer, when I just connected with her, I remember my intention was to go to the gym, but I sat down. And I was like, I just wonder how people operate. So at times when you feel the pain in your body and you take it for granted, it's deeper than that. At times when you see patterns that are playing around in your relationship, you jump from, I mean, there are many things where it's kind of like some things are childhood, but some things are not just childhood stories. Some things are dark energy. Some things are entities. I've had people who at times, they know that something is not right, and then they book a call. When we're supposed to jump on a call, there are those who are brave enough to jump on the call and will go through it despite the interferences that may be happening. But for some, it's kind of like they're having a lot of fear. But the fear is not theirs. The fear is of the dark entities that is attached to them. So they choose not to do the call, you know, because they're just so afraid and they don't even know what they're afraid of. But what is afraid is the dark entities that is afraid of it definitely being being disconnected from you and no more feeding from your life force energy, you know. So at times when you're doing what you're doing and you're like, I did everything, but nothing is happening. I know there are also other people, a lot of people out there, I'm just gonna use the word claim, because yeah, a lot of people are claiming to be healers, but they're not healers. The difference between when somebody is a coach, and sometimes it's kind of like jumping in and you do a little bit of a crash course and kind of like, I'm satisfied in this, then I can heal this. No, I'm just going to say it as it is. So at times you meet people who they have not worked on themselves, they have not embodied their unique essence, they're operating from fear. And because they heard someone talking about cutting the cords, they rush to say, I'm going to cut the cords. And what they do is it's kind of like that thing just, it becomes crazily agitated and it causes more damage, you know. Not everybody who claims to be a healer is a healer, and people that are coaches but they're not healers. So at times when you go, it's kind of like, okay, fine, it's a temporary relief, and then nothing happens because they don't know how to go through this, or maybe they think they can, but or they can see, because even when it comes to seers, whether you're a psychic, you can be aware of what is happening. You may be good at reading energy, but you may also not be a healer. You know, some people, especially where everybody wants to make money, people jump in and they just want to do everything. As long as I can tell you this is what is happening and I can help you heal it. But no, there are people who are just good at healing, but they're not flipping healers. And my intention, why I'm saying this, is I want you to be informed. I want you to work on yourself and also get healed, so that if at all you feel like, oh, I've been cheated in the past, whether I've been cheated in trying to invest in yourself or whatever, don't just blame other people. Because if you are connected, you are also able to discern that even though this person is saying what they're saying, does it feel right? Do they really know what is happening? Do they know where the problem is? You understand? Because if I'm telling you that this is where this is stored, this is where this problem is, which normally just is the first thing that registered when I say I'm working with the body. If there is a pain at the back of your body, that is probably, it's just a pain because of stress. Probably there is an attachment. Can you discern what is happening? You know, some of the things are ancestral. Can you know the core of this? because if I'm just gonna come through, especially if somebody, there's just a lot of perception, and also even the way we perceive things, the way we are connected and we've worked through things, it also brings in the perception. Are we coming through as making whatever that is wrong, or we can go to the core of it to find out what is it doing here? How did you even recruit this? And what do you need even for you to function at the level that you can give birth to whatever that you desire? Because if you have an attachment that is attached to your root, and it's like sucking life out of your root, you are disconnected, you don't feel safe, it's going to be hard for you to give birth to your desires, whether it's a business. And often people disconnect their business from themselves, but your business is an extension of you. That means whatever energy that you're holding is the same energy that you're going to be creating your business from, right? So take a deep breath there. What is interfering with your business? And what are you willing to do about it? What is interfering with your relationship? And what are you willing to do about it? Because you know the patterns of what is happening. You know when you are by yourself and you know that something is not right. You know you've read all the, whatever you call them, affirmations and all different books. But at the end of the day, the level that I'm talking about right here and right now, not everybody's going to go there. It's a book. You're going to read it. It's coming from the mind. And I've had actually people who somehow they read the book and they brought this awareness of their wounds and all that. And while they were digging into this awareness, it's kind of like they got re-traumatized because they go back there and relive the memories of what is it that really happened, And then what do you do with it? You don't know what to do with it, because first thing, you have not even dealt or accepted that happened. You're still holding into, because you are my mother, you should have, this is my right as a child and all the stories, but yet you are 50 plus, 60 plus, 40 plus, 30 plus. Are you willing to be your parent? And actually, speaking about this, what is also coming through very strongly is that as a parent, you are also responsible for your children, like this, that spiritual protection. So if you're operating from fear, not fully connected to true light, as in like pure light and love, not all those false white light, that dark energies, when you're busy even dependent on the external, whatever that is external, it's something outside of you. It's not coming from you. You are still in fear when something happens. It's kind of like, oh my God, you want to call, you still leave your body, you're out there, you are not grounded, you're not here. Can you hold space for your children? Can you anchor the codes so that your children are not conveyed, I don't know the word, but more, because the thing is that a lot of children who are here and they're holding powerful frequencies, and at the same time there are also dark energies that are against people anchoring the codes that are needed. This is why I say, even as a healer, you may be a healer, you are a fucking healer, you know how awesome you are, you know the work that you can do, but somehow when it comes to you embracing your magic and sharing that with the people, you are afraid, it's like you are dying or you're going to be killed. It may be something that may have happened in your ancestral lineages, or something that happened because of your gifts. And it's quite interesting, because as I'm speaking about this, there is some heaviness that is coming, especially on the feminine side, especially you may be feeling this around the neck. It's quite interesting, because it has a bit of, there is that. Let me just leave it there. So if you're watching this and this resonates with you, where it's kind of like somehow there is just this pain that I have, it comes from the neck. From the neck is like where the neck meets the head, and it goes down on my shoulder. There is all that, and you want to find out what exactly that is. What exactly is going on here? I invite you to book a call. I'm gonna put the link below, because these are some of the things. Even when it comes to the whisper of harmful advice, guidance, self-talk, at times you realize that it's not really you who is saying all those things to you. It's this negative entities. And it's quite interesting, because as I'm speaking about this, it goes to to your solar plexus, which tells me that you are not really in your power. It's like these are the things that suck your power out of you. You depend on them. And this is why when I talk about being present in your body, this is what I'm talking about. Because if you have these dark energies that are very, the word, whatever, aggressive, that's what I was looking for, that are very aggressive, it's kind of like they're pushing your soul out of your body and they get to operate your body. And that means they influence your way of thinking, they influence your perceptions, they influence everything that you get to do. You understand? You are not operating from your unique essence. You are being influenced by all these energies. It may happen that some of these things, they have been there since we're young. Like I said, you are born into a family that you are born in, and there are many templates that you inherit. Because even when it comes to some illness, if it all is a cases, may they never, whatever that never is, never get married, or get married and then their husband or wife dies, whatever that has been, it's been operating. And may they have children with men, and then those men get to live them. May they never be rich. And it's kind of like, you are this amazing, powerful, gifted people, intelligent people, but somehow it's kind of like you are working and you are working for nothing. There is nothing to show for what you're doing. Or you become the kind of person who you work so hard, but at the same time you get to work. You have to pay for love. However, that may be showing up in your life. It may be paying for love as like paying your family to love you. Ooh. Or paying men to love you or to sleep with you. Right? Or it's kind of like for you, when it comes to relationship, you don't know what it means to be fully connected and loving. You attract people who just come sleep with you and they're gone. Like it's a once-off thing and they're gone, and you wonder, what is it that they're afraid of? It's something that disturbs you, but at the same time, it causes a bit of shame where you don't even get to talk about it, because it's kind of like there is this whole thing that you created about you. But we get to dive deep. What is it that is interfering with you attracting, creating, crystallizing what you desire and what you deserve? What is it that you were born into? When you say I am and you say your name, like I'm talking about me as 𝐲𝐢𝐝𝐲𝐿, that's 𝐸𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻. What is the energy that is coming through? And then one of the homework that I'm just giving you, if you're listening, say your name to yourself. How does that feel in your body when you connect your name? What are the frequencies that are there that you've inherited? Sometimes it's even those emotions, anger, that may be coming through when you connect to your same name. And what is it that they're angry about? Sometimes it may be even when it comes to you having more money and all that in your business, especially, let me say, if at all you are, it's more like your spiritual business. It can be like, oh, in the past, people never used to pay, so you're not going to charge for these gifts. Or somehow there is something that happened with money, and some of the ancestors, they're kind of like, we don't like money, so you're not going to have money. So every time when an opportunity comes and money is meant to come through, it kind of like sucks life out of your nervous system. You feel tired. You don't, like, you sabotage. Hello, there we go. You sabotage in simple terms. And you don't know why the fuck you keep doing what you're doing. And one of the things of sabotage as well, it could be as simple as alcohol, drugs, food. You're gonna hide in that. What is it that you hide him from? So I mean, when we let go of all the other psychological stuff, and now we get deep into all this spiritual stuff and metaphysical stuff and all that, there is more to it. But my advice is, book a call, work with somebody who knows this shit. Because one thing that I can tell you, especially when it comes to my gift, when I opened up to know that there is something bigger, my opening up to this work was more the darkness, the fear that was anchored. And my question was, why should I be seeing all the fear? But the truth of it is, I was born in the fear. I was born in the fear of that darkness, but I had to illuminate that shit. I had to integrate aspects of myself that were stuck in that shit. So when I'm talking about illuminating the shadows, when I talk about Freedom Illuminator, it's just that. It doesn't mean that it's all negative. Some of it is not negative. So if you are operating from, like I say, that 5 day certification, now I'm a healer, then it's kind of like everything, I'm just going to coming from fear. I'm just gonna cut the cords. I'm gonna clear all these things, all this negative energy and all that, judging it, and it's kind of like intensifying, because your energy is the amplifier, is the creator, is the multiplier. What the heck are you creating? Which state are you coming from? Because it's the same thing. When I talk about communication in physical form, communicating with people like you know, it's for me to hear what you get to say, and even if you are listening, for you to hear what I'm saying, is when you're coming from not judging. And even when it comes to non-physical beings or non-physical existence, those energetic beings, is more for me to understand and get to do something that is more efficient, is when I'm coming through not from judgment, when I'm coming through not from fear. So what space are you holding? And when I'm talking about this, maybe you are listening to this, but a part of you, it's like, nah, I don't believe in that. There is nothing like dark energies and all that. That is you, like your logic and whatever that you learned. But somehow there is also that soul knowing that, but somehow I know this is true. So no matter what you think you know, either like logically, rationally, and all that, what your soul knows, it flipping knows. This is why when I say that what the subconscious want, it creates, it gets. If at all you are just gonna dismiss from the conscious mind, and yet something within you. This is why I say when you listen with the body. What is your body telling you? If you feel like I may need to speak to her, because this illness that has been dominating our family, this scarcity that has been dominating our family, this domestic violence, abuse, rejection, abandonment, that has been happening for many, many, many generations, is telling me something is not right. I'll drop a link below. So book the call and let's have a conversation. And I just came here to ask you those questions because my desire for you is to win. I want you to liberate your ancestors, to liberate yourself and liberate your children. You get to hold space for your children, because I still remember when I was separated with my children, when I was in pain, when I asked the question, what was the point of me giving birth to these children if I can't be with them? The question that came through was, what if you get to be the mother that has to shine the light no matter where you are? And for me, that's the highest form of parenting. I don't get to be with my children physically, but I can hold and shine the light wherever that they are and know that they're protected. Of course, I'm not going to be there with them at all times. So where do you stand as a parent when it comes to your children? Do you want to protect them with your body physically? And what about those things that you cannot see? This is why it's vital that you connect to your unique spiritual blueprint. You are not just a human, is like a physical being. You are a spiritual being. You are a soul. And indeed, there is something that your soul is here to give birth to. And it's time that you look at that. It's time that you listen to that subtle voice. It's never loud, but your ego is loud. Your ego is what is afraid. All those dark energies, entities, is what is more loud. Who you are in truth, your unique essence, it knows what it is. It whispers there is more for you. You are not meant to struggle. There is love that you are here to experience, and you are busy holding into toxicity because you are thinking from scarcity. That's not who you are here to be. And I still remember this message that came through the other time when it comes to my own relationships. And my higher self said, there are many women who can be in this kind of relationships, but it's not for you. What an activation of a queen, to say you are not here to follow the norm. You are not here to sit down and say, this is how men are, so it gets to be like that for me. What is my truth? What is possible for me? And I'm sharing that to also remind you, as a queen, as a king, wherever that you're watching this from, to remember that many men and women who are here to forget the queen and the king that is inside them, but that's not you. Because you know when those drums, when there is that humming, when you walk and you know there is something here bigger than me, when you know that there is something that you are meant to be, do, and have, when you walk and you know what you want to experience, even though people may say love does not exist, but at the core of your being, you know what is true for you. Your soul is calling you for something bigger, deeper. And all that shit happened to say, we're going to push you forward. Since you are stubborn, since you are not willing to listen, we're going to collapse who you thought you were so that you may know who you are in truth. What a beautiful universe that is ever loving, that is ever reminding us of our magnificence. And you get to choose. I love you. And I wish you a wonder-filled, magical, and orgasmic morning, night, day, wherever that you are. Make love with life. Tell me what you took away from this.